Today I wanted to do a kind of a wear test for you with this foundation. This is the Covergirl's newest foundation. It's called Full Spectrum Matte Ambition Foundation. I have tried this once before. I have not done a wear test, so I wanted to just kind of do it on video with you guys and kind of take you through, or maybe check in. I don't know if I'm going to take you through my day or check in. I'm not really going anywhere, so I might just check in. They had sent me a PR with full range of colors. There were deep shades, there were lighter shades that I shared, I unboxed and on my Instagram. If you want to check out some of my quick tutorials and makeup looks, you can go there. If you are there already, please check me out and follow me on Instagram. Basically, I ended up keeping these 4 shades. They seem to be the closest to my range. So what I did was look at the bottom of the jar and see which one may be my shade, and then donated the rest of the colors to Women's Shelter. I kept light golden 110, medium golden 210, light neutral 120, and tan neutral 305. I opened one of them and I wore one of them thinking that it was closest to my skin tone, but I haven't done a swatch on my face. So I kind of want to, with you, kind of check them out and see which one is the truest color to my skin tone. So let's start with the 110 light golden. I'm gonna put a little bit of this on my jaw area. Then I'm gonna put on 120 light neutral. Oops, this one's a lot more. Oh well, that's okay. And this one is 210 medium golden. And last is tan neutral 305. I was gonna keep the tan golden, but the golden just looked really yellow. So I figured neutral would probably be better for my skin tone. Even when I get a tan for this foundation, I feel like neutrals are better bet for me. But so here's how it looks like immediately right after I swatched them. My camera stopped recording and I didn't realize it stopped recording, so I actually didn't film the part that I'm showing the swatches next to each other blending into my skin. But I did end up liking 120 light neutral on my skin better. That was the second color that I swatched. It blended really nicely into my neck and it was almost a perfect match. On one side, I'm gonna use this damp beauty blender to blend one side of my face, this side of my face, and then the other side I'm gonna use a brush to blend, so you can see what the difference is if you prefer brush versus sponges. And first I'm gonna prime my skin. I'm gonna use this Milk Hydro primer. I really like using this primer. It makes the it's a little tacky and it makes the foundation stay on better. I usually use a pore minimizer, pore filler kind of primer to, and today I'm using the NYX pore minimizer, but you could use any like Benefit, Professional, or any kind of pore minimizer you like to use. I put 1 pump of the foundation on the beauty blender, and here we go. We're gonna start blending. If you are you like this kind of foundation videos, or if you like reviews and things like that, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed yet, and become part of my YouTube family. This is a pretty full coverage foundation. I have some redness on my skin and I feel like it did a really good job covering everything. And even on my nose, it looks like it's the redness is gone. Like you can see some freckles on this side, but I'm gonna put a little bit more, just a little bit, and put it around my nose. See if I can cover up any of the freckles and see if it's really buildable or not. It looks like a buildable coverage. So this is how it looks like on my skin. You know, first things I look at is it accentuating my fine lines? Is it making my texture more, or more emphasizing, you know, it's bringing out the texture more? It looks like it doesn't. I mean, I have enlarged pores, but it doesn't make them look bigger or emphasize the texture more. You know, it just kind of glided on nicely. So I really like the, you can see the before, sorry, before, see how much red my skin is, and then after. I'm gonna put one pump. I'm actually gonna put the pump like this on my finger and then dot it on my face, because with the brush, I feel like this works best because then the brush doesn't absorb all the product in. And I'm using the IT Cosmetics Complexion Perfection Foundation brush. It actually says Glow, but it's a dense brush. I like dense brushes for foundations. Because I already have my eye makeup, I don't want to mess up my eye makeup. I'm just gonna press in the foundation there. Both blending, I blended fine with both sides, with brush and the beauty blender. It blended nicely, easily. It wasn't too much effort to blend the foundation. The brush didn't make it kind of skip. You know, sometimes a brush might make a foundation streaky. It didn't streak at all. It is a little bit more full coverage with a brush than it was with a beauty blender, but I was kind of expecting that from a beauty blender, because usually when I want to sheer out foundation and not lay it on too thick, I use my beauty blender. And for the brush, I expected it to be a little bit thicker application, but both sides look beautiful on right now. Looking at it initially, they both covered really nicely. It's a full coverage foundation. It covered up all the redness. It covered up most of my freckles. It didn't completely take it away. I could probably go another, if I wanted to take this, the freckles away, I could go and build it up one more time. But I'm not gonna do that because I kind of like my skin peeking through a little bit. I don't need to look, I don't want the flawless look. I want to just be able to see my skin. I want the foundation to look like it's my skin, but better. I like the color. It's a little bit hint on the yellow side, even though it's a neutral, which is kind of surprising to me. Most of the neutrals seem to be yellow still. A little bit, a hint of a yellow in them, not as neutral. But I still like the color. I can work with this. Okay, so this is with everything on. I powdered my face, just the T-zone mostly. A little bit on my cheeks because I have the texture area there. I want to mattify it. But putting on highlight, blush, everything was effortless. Everything went on nicely. I feel like I may not even need to set this foundation with a powder, but I did that just in case because I do that with every foundation. So I did that the way I usually do. First impression, looking at it, just really looking at it, I love it. Right now, I love it. Let's see what happens throughout the day. So it is about 1 p.m. right now. I'm gonna go run my errands, do my stuff. I will come back in the studio and kind of show you how my foundation is looking in a few hours. So I will be back. It's now 7:08. And it's been about 6 hours that this foundation's been on. I want to kind of wash my face and get rid of all the makeup, but I wanted to show you and check in before I do. So this is how my foundation looks like. I haven't done any touch-ups. Everything that's on my face is what I applied when I first applied my makeup. So I'm just gonna have you take a look at this.
Can I keep going?
The places I lose my foundation is around my nose and in the chin area, and I must say that I'm very impressed because
I have been editing and doing computer work, and I've been touching my chin a lot. I do that a lot when I'm thinking or sitting and working. And I've noticed that I still have foundation on my chin. It hasn't rubbed off. I mean, it doesn't look like it's rubbed off at all, actually. And it's not breaking up, which I'm really impressed. Usually, I do get breakups around this area. I don't see any of it. My nose is a bit shiny because of the highlighter, but, and it's a little bit shiny here. Some foundation makes my nose really oily and the oils just come through. But this one, it just looks like it's a dewy skin. It's not oily, greasy nose, you know. And over here, I had my sunglasses on when I went outside. It's rubbed off a little bit, but it's so minor. Usually, like when I put my glasses on, this area comes off like completely. I would have to like fix it, but it didn't really do that with this foundation. I feel like I like this side where I applied the foundation with a beauty blender better than the side where I applied with a brush, only because that's my preference. I don't like full coverage looking foundations. I like my skin, like I said earlier, I like my skin peeking through, and I'm okay with seeing some skin coming through, but I mean both sides are nice. Both sides are really nice. It seems like this side where I applied the foundation with the brush feels a little bit thicker, like foundation is kind of thicker here, but it's not on this side. So that's why I like this part better. I'm going to try blotting this foundation just to see how it would look after I blot it. Since I haven't touched it up at all, I just want to on camera blot it for you. Sorry, I can't get this sheet to like separate. Is this one sheet or two? Oh, I think it is two. Okay, so I got this Winky Lux. This is a Winky Lux matcha blotting sheet. I'm gonna put this where I have oily areas. See, there's like significant amount of oil on my cheek area, but it didn't really show that much. Like, you see that? Okay, I'm gonna blot this side, and then you can compare it with the other side. Let's do it that way, like a half blotting. So there's some oils coming through, but just blotting alone mattified it so much already. It looks so much more matte than this side. This side looks good to me, but this side looks like I just applied the foundation again. I am super impressed. Let me just do the forehead too. Silly me. It looks so much better than this side. I mean, it's not that bad, but blotting it just rejuvenates the foundation. It makes it look like I just put it on again. That is so cool. I'm gonna do this side too. So this is before. Ooh, so much oil came out. Look at that. That looks so good. And some on my nose too. You can see a little bit of that where my glasses were. It's rubbed off a little bit over here. Not so much on this side. But it looks pretty good. I am really happy with this foundation. I really like it. Definitely you're gonna see me excuse me. You're gonna see me wearing this a lot more often, especially in the summertime. Let's get back because now it's getting kind of scary. All right. That was the wear test for the Full Spectrum CoverGirl foundation. It was a definite yes for me. I really want to keep wearing this and testing it out in different weather conditions, but you're going to see me wearing this more. And I really like the finish of this foundation. And for having more mature skin and fine lines and things like that, it held up really well. If you like this type of video, or if this was helpful to you to make a decision whether you want to get this foundation or not, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.